So, unpopular opinion. I didn't finish it yet, but I've been watching the Beckham documentary about David Beckham and Victoria Beckham. And excuse me. I had to get on here because I just had a lot of like spiritual downloads, weirdly enough, watching this video. But I think it's so important. Like, if you have a chance, look it up or watch it. It just like, I am genuinely convinced that they are twin flames that have like reached their highest potential. Like, the way that the story is relayed about like how David started out and, you know, how things kind of progressed for him really quickly. Like, I firmly believe that those gifts that he had that like nobody had, and like how he would always like he wouldn't hang out with anybody. He would always like practice his skills and play soccer and practice, and like that was literally his whole life from like the get. And he had his father. His father could have been like a soulmate that like instilled these beliefs in him, because secretly, like deep down as a child, he was remembering, or like he knew like what he was here to do. And you know, like the way that his story unfolds, like, you know, he reached huge milestones like of his purpose very early on in his life. So that's good karma. It's really good karma. It's also like he's just really stubborn. Like, I literally at one point I was watching like the little like confessional part of his documentary, and I'm only on the first episode, mind you, and he was like everything tying together, and he was like, they asked him, you know, he used to buy nice things with his checks when he first started getting like really paid from Manchester, and he's like, I like nice things. And I was like, this man, not just because he said that, but I think everything encapsulated into one. I was like, this man is a Taurus. Like, he has to be. And so I like, and then like considering that and his relationship like with Victoria, and how just the lengths he would go as a man, a young man, mind you, like to be with this woman, you know, because like I literally was like, because I always think, and it's in my birth chart too, I have this really strong feeling that I'm gonna end up with a Taurus. Like, I don't know how I know that. I just have that feeling lately. And then watching this for me was like a huge like confirmation, because like I listened to, you know, Victoria's side, and there was one point when she said that they were working class or whatever her family was, and he called her out. And I don't know, it's like the same case just on her part, like with him, like everything leading up to that point, and then that was the one thing that just like triggered the epiphany. I was like, this woman is an Aries, like through and through. This woman is an Aries, like I just know it. And I looked up both of their birth dates after I had these ideas, and sure enough, I was right about both of them. And so that leads me to like the main point of this. So I always have, and like, I'm not throwing shade at anybody. That's not my intention with this. But this is just more like, I kind of want to like be an inspiration, and like, you know, I'm also not talking from experience yet, but you know, I meet so many people that like they are so pessimistic about love, and they've given up about love. Even I was in that seat very recently. Over the summer, I really struggled with that. And I don't know, like lately, I just like have a lot of faith. And also like, okay, so my sun sign is an Aries. And as I said, I have this like strong belief that like I don't even know where this stems from. Like, yes, because it's in my birth chart, but also because, like, the way that the dynamic is between them is, like, that's exactly what I want in a relationship. Like, that's exactly, like, what I know I deserve. Like, a man who, like, who, you know, like, he makes the effort, like, because that's what he wants. Like, he looks at me and is like, this is, like, this woman is mine. Like, I'm gonna marry her. Like, no doubts about it, no qualms, no, like, side situations, no, like, just, like, a man that's, like, so, he's just, like, so self-assured, like, even from the beginning, like, he's just, like, he just knows his purpose. He lives, like, a purpose-driven life. And, you know, like, I have so many people tell me that, you know, like, that's really nice that I that I want something that doesn't exist, that, oh wow, like, that's the perfect man. Like, listen, like, I 100% know, even on paper, or, like, if the man checks all these boxes, to me, like, he's still gonna have, like, you know, his human qualities, his shadow sides. Like, there's gonna, you know, like, that's gonna exist. Doesn't matter who you are. And I don't know, like, this really got me thinking, as I aforementioned, like, this is what happens when people are in alignment with their destiny. Like, everything that unfolds is just, like, boom, boom, but, like, one, like, just like that. Like, it's like you do what you're supposed to do, and the universe just gives you and gives you and gives you, like, and sometimes, quite literally, all you have to do is show up. It's as simple as that. And don't give up. And I know, you know, like, the day and age we live in, it's not the 90s anymore. Dating is very different. Things are very different. But I genuinely believe that the only reason why the internet, I think, definitely was a catalyst for, like, a lot of corruption, but the internet can also be an amazing platform for so many wonderful things. But I do definitely recognize that. However, I think that dating can be as toxic as it has become. And I think a lot of people are starting to, like, wake up anyway and, like, realize that, and, like, not allow themselves to be part of the problem. For sure. But, you know, like, how do I even, like, I'm not sure how to, like, how do I even explain this? Like, okay, instead of, like, being more present in their day-to-day lives, how people had to be before, like, the internet existed, and, like, you know, when people still used, like, regular phones, like, with a wire or whatever, like, instead of cell phones, and didn't have constant access, or the illusion of constant access to the outside world. That's a better way to put it. The illusion of outside access to the outside world and other people. I feel like, you know, like, that's what people were more inclined to do. But it's also, like, it's crazy to me because during that interview, and I know, like, not everybody's there in their journey. Like, they just haven't, like, recognized this, and it's not for everyone. Like, that's not a lot, like, everybody's main purpose in this lifetime, to, like, be in, like, a solid love connection like that. And, like, you know, that's fine. Or, like, some people just don't prioritize that for whatever reason. But like I said, like, when you're tapping into your potential, that's a big part of this too. I think the reason people settle is because they don't live a purpose-driven life, and they don't tap into their highest potential timelines, and they don't take a chance on themselves. And that's like, that's karmic in a sense, because, you know, like being self-conscious and, you know, like allowing other people to dictate like how you're gonna live your life, like these are all karmic things. These are all things that many of us have signed up for. And you know what, like some people have been so like effed up from their just upbringing or generational traumas that they just don't know any better, or they don't realize that there is better. And that's good too. But I'm a firm believer in like as many things that the internet has like poisoned, it's also illuminated a lot of other things. And I think now more than ever, we have literally all the resources at our fingertips. So I like to be like aware and discerning and, you know, like understand where people are coming from, but I don't think that we should make excuses anymore. Like, I think that this is just the day and age that we live in. And I still think, you know, even back then, the way that their story unfolded in the interview, he was like, they were like, everyone was so in awe of like, they were on the phone like all hours of the day. They were afraid he was going to lose his career because he was like prioritizing his relationship with Victoria and this and that. And, you know, he asked the interviewer, he's like, you know, like, that's just like, you know, like, that's how it is in the beginning, you know, like, he's like, haven't you ever like been like that? And this man was like, no. And I was like, wow, like that actually is very sad. You know, I mean, it's very sad that a lot of people, not everyone, but many people haven't experienced that, or people in general just haven't experienced that. I've experienced, I love that. And it's also given me another perspective, a higher perspective on the fact that like when it is time to meet that person, like you guys are just gonna be like magnets. Like you are just gonna know, like, and that brings me like back to the beginning of this, that I really think that they're twin flames or soulmates. I mean, whatever, they have a very like high and powerful and divine connection, whatever we want to title it. And I also think that if we allow ourselves to continue to settle instead of just like being comfortable in the fact that like we don't have to constantly be up under somebody, like we should be taking this time. And I know I'm finally listening to my advice the last 6 months or so, but we need to take that time that we're given by ourselves, and we need to like work on, you know, becoming the best versions of ourselves. And not even in a cliche way, like I mean in a spiritual way, like finding our purpose if we don't know it yet, figuring out what that is, trying new things, experimenting with life, like traveling, learning things about ourselves, learning new language, connecting with people, figuring out what it is that would give us a purpose-driven life. Because that is the secret. That's the secret to the whole list of things that you want in your life. That's the key to unlocking them. Like, I'm 100% sure of it. Like, 100% sure of it. Like, okay, for example, I went through probably another ego death, a dark night of the soul this summer. And, like, I don't have it all figured out at the moment. But I finally, like, started stepping into my authenticity more and, like, showing up as me. even if like my voice shakes when I speak, you know, figuratively, but I started realizing like, you know, I finally started like tapping into my spiritual gifts, you know, taking steps to like expound on them, and, you know, just like working on the projects that mean something to me, like my passion projects and things that I know in my heart of hearts, I'm like, this is what I was sent here to do. That like these things, I'm not going to really mention too much what, but there are certain projects I'm working on, and I'm like, I know that when this is going to help people, this is going to help society, this is going to make a positive impact on people. People are going to feel seen, people are going to feel heard, people are going to feel like they can relate, like, and it's going to expose like all these things that, excuse me, like, you know, people are so busy nowadays that they can't even really, they don't even think about too much. And I just started realizing, I'm like, I don't know, like, if you have a voice inside of you that like, when you know, like your intuition is like they explained it perfectly in the documentary too, like David, I think it was David Beckham that says something about it, like, or one of his former teammates, they are saying how like when there's that hunger inside of you, like you have to stay hungry. You have to stay hungry. And I thought about that. And I was like, okay, like what does it mean to be hungry? Like in all senses of the phrase, even like as simple as like hungry for food. Like what is that feeling? And I'm like, it's passion. It's passion. Like that's what it is. It's like, that is how we should feel. And even if, you know, like, I don't know everybody's situation. I understand, like, we all live different lives. Our realities are very different sometimes. But even if you can put aside 10 minutes a day, 10 minutes every single day to work on something that you feel passionate about, if you look back a year from now, I guarantee you're going to see some progress. You're going to see some progress. You're going to feel different. You're going to feel better. You're going to feel more in tune with yourself. And you also notice, like, once you take that first step, like, you'll want to do more and then integrate more. And then it's just like, it's like the snowball effect. Like, you're going to get to a point, like I said, in a year, you're going to look back and like be like, damn, like I did all that. Even if it was 10 minutes a day, 10 minutes, that's it. Like, realistically, honestly, we all can afford 10 minutes. And if we can't, then ask yourself all the things that you do day to day that are taking up all your time, and ask yourself if it's all really worth it. If it's all really worth compromising your time that you should be pouring into yourself. And like, you know, because when you work on your inner self, this is a huge theme lately, but it's so true, and I'm starting to resonate and align with it more and more, like this concept. When you fix what's inside, you know, what you feel is missing, or what you feel is broken, or what you feel needs healing in your inner world, you're going to start unlocking in the physical reality. Like, you're just, like I said, like, it's just going to come to you. And I genuinely believe that if we all start living more purpose-driven lives, it's going to increase our prosperity like 100-fold, maybe even in a countless way. Like we're gonna have the faith and the power and the confidence and the discipline to align ourselves with relationships that are as inspiring as that, with jobs, with careers, with projects, with people, with friends, with collaborators, like whatever it is. I really believe that. So I felt like I really needed to channel this. Like it was like just almost weighing on me, like not in a bad way, just I don't know, I get this weird feeling when I need to like write usually or like speak about something, and this was one thing that was like tugging on me all day, and I was like, all right, I'll get on there, I'll do the video, I'll post the video. So let me know your thoughts, comment, like, subscribe. This isn't a tarot reading or an oracle reading. I will definitely have many more of those to come in the future, but I thought that this message definitely needed to reach some people, and I think that it's really special that we live in this day and age where we can map out a lot of things, and we have so many resources at our disposal. So I think there's a lot to be grateful for, even if we lose sight of that because of all the noise around us. So I love you. Thanks for stopping by at Third Eye Exchange. Thanks for watching. Like I said, like, comment, share. I will see you next time. Mwah.